Lesson of the day. When somebody ghosts you, let them go. And where could I have possibly learned that? Right here on 911 Fox After Show.
You're tuned in to AFTERBUZZ TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz
You feeling it today?
Yes, theme music so appropriate today because this is a celebration. We celebrate letting all the damn things go, okay?
Amen. Let it go.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey. All right, guys, you are watching season 2, episode 7 of 911. Today's episode was entitled Haunted. For various reasons, okay? It was a lot of crazy going on, but thank you so much for being with us. I'm Porchia Carter, and these are my lovely, lovely ladies to my left.
Yes, everybody. I am LMarie.
And hello, I'm Tay Alexandria.
So, this episode was a lot. So, we got to talk about Hen and her daddy, Eddie and his wife. Y'all, Eddie still married, y'all. Buck letting go. We got our Save and Don't Say segment and our Queen Bassett moment. Y'all know we can't leave out our girl. Mm-hmm. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about our overall thoughts of the show.
Overall, the show was everywhere.
I mean, that's the best way you can put it.
Yeah. Everywhere.
I think last season I liked their little Halloween episode. This season, I don't know. That's just
I didn't like the Halloween episode last season either.
I liked it last season.
I liked the last season.
Yeah, I liked it last season. This one,
you liked it better than this one?
They had a whole real man eating on people's faces.
Yes, that was good.
That was nasty.
I like it. I liked it. But I mean, this. Were you finished?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. But this episode, I was confused. I agree. Yeah. I was very confused, but it all came together in the end. And my favorite part, Buck finally left that damn house. You don't understand. Buck, you told me on social media this was gonna happen. Thank you. Kind of told me, but I knew what you meant. Thank you, Buck.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about that Buck situation because I told y'all that he needs to let that go. Mm-hmm. But before I let y'all know that, so my overall thoughts, I really believe that this show tonight, although it was all over the place, it had a lot of depth to it. And when I say depth, I mean it's starting to teach you about people and, how you're supposed to react when people leave you or when they stay or when they're not serving well in your life, like how things like that happen. And then overall, I just don't like spooky stuff. Like the show was titled Haunted, so I was scared the whole time watching. And then so much crazy stuff happened with the scenes. So let's get into these things they had to save. They had the guys that fell into the graves.
Mm-hmm. Which was still confusing to me. So was it like a mudslide? No.
I don't know what happened. I know they was down in there and Hen picked them up with the tractor, okay? Mm-hmm.
She even had
out with a whole truck.
Yeah, they just said after the earthquake, the ground around that area was really shaky and unstable.
Why you playing around in grave sites?
Yeah, they should have figured out a new way. I think Hen was the only smart one. They're like, let me use a machine and just fall back and let it too.
No, the guys that fell in. Why they on that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Digging the grave.
Yeah, that's what they get. That's what you get for trying to dig people up, not letting the dead things go. That's what you get for bringing up old stuff. Because I was all the way psyched out. And then next we had this was really creepy. Them bats.
The bats.
And that,
I don't do well with
birds at first.
Yeah, I
don't do well with those.
That just wasn't my thing. Then we had the guy falling down and falling down at the mountain. He went hiking, he fell, and then they felt like a ghost called.
Well, Athena wasn't gonna let that slide. Like a ghost, really?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let me go find this out.
And then for the last one, we get this guy in his horse situation. The horse basically watched a disaster happen right in front of his eyes. The guy is doing his tricks and he's blowing the fire. Then somebody's face get caught on fire. And I'm thinking 911. When they called 911, I'm thinking the call is about to be about the guy's face being on fire. And they talk about the horse. I said, what?
That's
like
what
that
he gets
man
for
went up in
having-
flames.
This man's whole face just went up in flames, and y'all talking about a horse.
Hair, and that's what he gets for putting all that hairspray in his hair.
It was just the hair.
It was just the hair.
Oh, I thought it was
so.
face
Yes,
body.
I am an animal lover.
Okay.
I am an animal lover, and I'm gonna save the horse. I'm glad that 911 call was for the horse. 'Cause I was about to cry.
Hold on.
I blame him.
She said that's what he gets for having all that hair product in his hair. I am not about to play with you. Hairspray is flammable, people. Take a note.
Had a
Do
Michael
not
Jackson
do it,
moment.
okay? Do not be, if you know you're going to be around some fire, don't be playing around. Don't be going out there talking about you having a bonfire and you got loads of hairspray in your hair.
I blow my candles out like
I'm not about to play with you.
Nope. Trying to come out here looking like a joker. No, you
OMG. All right, y'all. So let's get into it with our cast. First and foremost, the first thing I want to bring up is I thought I wanted to talk about Hen first, but let's do Eddie. Okay. Let's do Eddie. And I really want to do Eddie because it shocked me. I was thinking he was about to be this old single fine bachelor with a son having these amazing, father heroic moments.
Yeah.
And he whole married.
Well, I was waiting for this to happen because we didn't know a lot about Eddie, though.
We didn't.
We didn't
And we
know.
see a lot of
And
background.
we see a lot today. He is whole Maddie.
He's really married. So we have this scene where Carla has found this child care facility for him. They have it's a school. They have an amazing after school program, probably before school program because he need that too. They got great academics. She's like, the education is off the roof. It's like, you're good to go. All we need to do is meet the whole family. So as long as we meet Mrs. Diaz, we good. And so he walks away and goes to tell Carla, and Carla like, oh, that's good, cool, call her. And he like, no, that's not good. We can't do that. And she like, no, we got a custody agreement. You good? She was like, no, we don't got one of them because we still married. How did y'all feel about this whole scene?
Like, so I just thought like the mom just wasn't in the picture like at all. Like completely had abandoned them, but there was also like no contact, and maybe he didn't know where she was. So to know he was only like 30 minutes away from her, I was like,
I didn't know that either.
What?
I honestly thought
That
she
was
was
weird.
Deceased. To be honest,
I
thought the worst.
Like when he said that was going to be a problem, I'm thinking she dead.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't think like, oh, she's just 30 minutes away, just like scared to go see her son, type of thing, because she feels like she was away for too long. I really thought this whole time, like, oh, Eddie is just a widow
And then
trying
the
to
whole
figure it
thing
out.
was so weird because she comes to the house and they have this like little fallout, and he's like, you left him for 2 years, and she like, well, you left me and you was never there. You in Afghanistan. First of all,
I was like, Afghanistan, when?
First of all,
How?
that's where
He
you
was in
came
the
from.
army.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay,
It's okay.
That was another random point that I missed in this episode.
It's
Got
okay.
it.
Oh, yeah, Afghanistan.
So my issue with this is you knew what you signed up for when you married somebody in the military. Like, how do you marry somebody in the military and then just decide that it's too much for you for him to be away?
I think it was one of those things where, when everything started happening. So it's like, oh, it's cool when I don't really need you because everything at home is cool. But like now that my life is like a mess and you're not here as well to help me like clean it up, like it probably got to her.
Did they say how long they were married? Were they
No,
like?
they haven't said.
Did they get married like young? Or no, they didn't say that.
Yeah, they
How
didn't
old
say.
is the child? He's like
Christopher,
6 or 7?
something like that. Or no, I thought he's 9.
Nine?
No. He's,
I'm not
let's
really
say, like
sure
knocking
how
on
old he
10
is.
years.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
I don't know. I don't know how long they've been married. I don't know how old he is, but I just know they had a lot of unresolved issues. She left because she wanted to go take care of her mother, and she moved to LA. Like, I didn't know that he moved there to be closer to her. Carla let us in on that when she like, how you not gonna let his mama see him? Like, no, a boy need his mama, and you still want her because you moved 30 minutes away from her. You wasn't planning on leaving Texas until she did. And so it's just like, now we see like the inside of what he has going on. So 2 episodes back when the homegirls was trying to holler and he talked about, I got a son, that's why I ain't trying to go there. No, he should have just been honest with Buck. He's still married and he still love his wife.
I forgot
That's
about
why
that,
he's
actually.
not trying to be dating.
And
There
he
we
could have
go.
been relating to Buck. Like, You know what I mean? Because his wife is gone, Abby's gone. Like, they're both dealing with, like, these women that kind of dip out on them.
You got something. There you go.
Right there.
Correlations.
No, you so right. That's probably why they clash so well.
Yeah.
That's probably
Once they
why
got past their male ego.
Yeah, once
they got past that male ego thing.
Once they got past Buck Hayes and him. Because that's all Buck wanted was a little Hayes. Because, you know, it happened to him when he got on. They was picking with him all day.
That happens in the firehouse. Like I said, my dad is a lieutenant. Shout out Garland Jones. Yeah, he was a lieutenant, so that happens.
Yeah, shout out to Papa Lieutenant. Yeah, so then we find out, you know, right before they had this scene where they come back together, we find out that she went away because it was too much for her to handle, knowing that it could possibly have been her fault. So she spent all these years rethinking and reliving her pregnancy, thinking about what she did wrong. How did, you know, my son end up in this condition, you know? So she's battling all these different things in her mind, and she don't really know what to do. And so her answer was to run and go ghost on them. How y'all feel about that?
I have a question. I don't know if I'm making this up or not, but a few episodes back, did they say, like, she kind of, like, she was waiting for something? Like, with her pregnancy, when she was, like, in labor, but she was, like, trying to wait or something like that, and then that kind of caused, like, a bad delivery or something. That could be, like, another show or a real-life situation. I'm gonna be quiet. She just said, I don't know.
I was like, wait, did you get it? No? I don't know.
I'm gonna look back at that. I think it was when Christopher was in the hospital, and the aunt was there, and, you know, she was, like, upset and everything. So I'm gonna go back and look at what happened. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at that episode and see if they kind of explained it a little bit.
So we gonna go back and we gonna, you know, check it out to see if her holding the baby after her water broke is what happened, because that usually does happen.
Yeah.
If your water break and you wait a whole too long, like a couple days, you know, that stuff like that does happen.
Yeah.
Something does get misconstrued in that. So yeah, we're going to find out. But in the meantime, how do you feel about her just taking full blame? Let's put aside that idea right now because we don't know that for sure. But how do y'all feel about her taking the blame and instead of facing the problem and being there to help mend it together as a family, running away from that?
That's
tough. That is really tough.
Yeah.
I just kind of want her to, I feel like she needed to get that out, but I kind of want her to just fix it now. You're back. Be in Christopher's life. Christopher needs a mother. Like Carla said, don't wait until it's too late because it's going to be terrible and it's going to be a Hannah situation potentially, maybe, and her father. So I just want her to actually just like kind of let it go, not be ghost anymore, and work on it.
I love that. I love that. So her ghost has returned. Okay. So next ghost on the list, Hen Daddy done ghosted her when she was 9 years old. Naughty done found her. Karen is all the way at the hospital talking about baby come up here. Hen gets to the hospital and lo and behold, they calling her in to either leave this man on life support or pull the plug. You know, he had a bad prognosis. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Man, I felt bad for her because I'm like, oh, that's just a tough decision to make, period. Yeah. And then you're also like, you have these other factors involved in you making that decision. So I was like, oh, that's kind of tough.
Her quote, I never hated him enough to pull the plug on him. But she ended up pulling the plug, but not for hate.
Right.
Which was beautiful. Some people in that situation would say, like, I don't know this man. Like, go ahead and do it. She thought about it. She had heart. She had compassion, which is why we all love Hen. But that is the most, I feel like that's the most life-changing, like the toughest life-changing decision someone could ever make.
So. Yeah, and it was because, you know, he ghosted her. It was because she never really knew him for real. So she's dealing with daddy issues. She goes to the house and she finds an article with her face on it. You know, he kept articles of her. So then it clicked in her heart to know that, oh, this man still loved me. And not only did he still love me, he thought about me every day. He moved in the same area that I moved in. You know, he had my address and my name and stuff on file for if anything happened to him. So, of course, he cared. But why didn't he show me that he cared? Because he could have been there physically. He could have not just been a ghost. ghost. And then she goes into this thing where she's like, well, I used to have these imaginary daddy confessions with my imaginary daddy. And I would tell him about when I first started liking girls, when I first started having all of these feelings, but you weren't there to hear me and listen to me. But instead of me holding that against you right now, I forgive you. And I forgive you enough to let you go.
Yes,
That was like, oh, man.
and then
It always makes me cry.
And then him thinking about her father as she was supposed to put the horse down. That was really, she couldn't do it. All she can think about is her dad. Like, okay, what decision do I make?
Yeah, because they got her. They gave her the ending decision. Like, you know, we got to pull the plug on somebody. Somebody got to die today. You gonna do it or no? You know what I'm saying?
So Bobby had to step in, of course, and save the day. But yeah, I agree.
But like all of his conversations, from her talking to her wife to talking to Athena and then going to actually talking to him, it was like a chain reaction of let me release this semi-hate toward you and let me embrace the love that we had for each other, whether it had been a physical love or just a mental and emotional thing, to know that we both wanted each other, and then let me forgive you. And I believe a lot of the times the reason why we don't let stuff go, you know, when people have done things to us or when they ghosted us or when they have been in the opposite direction of what we have been to them, like not returning, I guess, no reciprocity is what I'm trying to say. There we go. When people don't have reciprocity in relationships, it's like, how do I forgive you and let you go? Like, it's too many different things. And that's why I really agree with Maddie when she said that if you're hoping and waiting on something that's never going to happen, then it's going to be holding you back. So if you're hoping and waiting on a lost cause for a man to come, or for a dad to come and be in your life when he obviously can't, you know, you just have to take the love where it is and forgive and let go.
Amen.
And to piggyback off of that, when Buck was saying, well, how do you know if you're holding on too long or when to let go? And then Maddie was like, you know.
Yeah.
So you're also like,
you know in
when
your
it's
heart.
time.
Yeah, and I believe that's where Hen was in this moment. She knew in her heart it's time to let go. But before I let go, let me forgive you so I don't let go out of anger, so that I don't let go out of fear, so that I don't let go out of hurt and pain. Because when you let go of people out of all of those, you know, tainted and nasty emotions, it's kind of like you can't be washed clean from that, because it still leaves stains in your heart.
It still resonates in you.
Yeah, so clean up. Okay, forgive people.
Clear your mind, clear your body, clear your soul.
You know, talk to somebody, because she went and talked to a few people.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody, let it all go, you know. And I just can't believe that Tim had the nerve to say his prognosis, you can't come back from that.
Him of all people.
Him of all people. The miracle child.
Right.
Talking about somebody can't come back from that. So, our next ghosting moment. Oh, before we get into that, we got to let y'all know something. We don't want y'all to ghost us. So we need y'all to take care of some stuff for us, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So let me tell you, what's up, AfterBuzzers? Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they are optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. But for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us feed the ESPN of TV Talk.
Yes, thank you for helping us, okay? Because all we need is a little help. That's what everybody need in the world. Just a little bit of help. You got me, I got you, and we gonna make it
5
through.
stars, please. And we are on Spotify.
Yeah,
That's the new thing now.
well.
We now on Spotify.
All right, guys. Y'all know what time it is. We about to get into this amazing thing that happened this episode. So, Buck goes through this whole thing where he realized that he has been ghosted by Abby. He finally realized that he has been ghosted.
7 episodes later.
7 episodes later.
7 episodes. And my prediction was 3 or 4. We are at 7.
Yeah.
You know
okay.
what?
It's okay.
And so he came to this realization when he had the whole thing about a ghost called the phone. So now he's talking to Maddie and he's letting her know, like, maybe I'm the ghost lingering around in this house and maybe I should move on. And, maybe, hope could not be hope if it's lasting too long.
Yeah.
And then, that's when we just spoke about that quote when he lets her know, like, all right, sometimes you just know, okay? So if you even have an inkling of something, then it is what it is, okay?
He said this voice, quote, this voice in my head keeps saying, move on, Buck. Just one voice?
Right.
One voice.
We done told you here on the
AfterBuzz,
we done told you move on, Buck.
All your crew, everybody said, move on, Buck.
But we done told you to move on 1,000 times.
And he said probably should have moved out a long time ago. But here's the thing. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to pull up our last
When you are in a situation, it's hard to, like, within a situation, and it's just, like, love or anything that's strong and holding on to you, it's really hard to see for yourself.
It is.
No matter how long, you've had a situation like that in life. Exactly. So, cause
I was looking at you.
So it's always easier to give advice, like the friends, your support system around you. It's always easier to get advice because they're not in this situation and it's looking on the outside in. Like me, for example, I stay with an ex way too long. Everybody told me leave, but in my mind, I'm like, not yet. I don't get it. Why? No, and they turn out to be right.
See, that's the thing. That's why Maddie said, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because there has been plenty of time.
There we go.
Where I knew, come on, sidebar. When I knew that somebody was not for me, okay? I knew this man just wasn't right. I knew it was a toxic relationship. I knew that it was all about one thing and not about nothing else.
Exactly.
I knew all of these things, but why did I stay? Why? Why?
Because you couldn't let go.
Because you could not let go. And you would find every excuse to stay, but he does this, but he does this.
And it's right in your face. Y'all. I just went through it literally like yesterday.
And I think that comes from us being hurt and having pain and having these experiences where, maybe we had daddy issues or maybe we had, past boyfriends that left us and we like, no, we gonna hold on to this one because he ain't leaving me.
Right. Or I'm not gonna go through that again. Like, this is gonna be different. But it's the same, but you want a different outcome.
Right. So when we try to approach relationships out of brokenness and hurt and pain, we get this thing where, two broken pieces just so happen to get stuck together because they don't really fit. Like when something don't really fit and something they get stuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
happens.
happens.
Try to put puzzle pieces together that don't go together? I would when I was little, just playing
and then
with
you
them.
just
And
start
they
roughing
get
them up
stuck.
and they get stuck together. You trying to get it out.
But they don't go together.
That's what happened. If you don't go together, it's going to be hard to pull away because that's not your portion. Okay.
Come on.
Look, let me not get the preaching up in here. Because I'm trying to tell y'all, I done held on to something that done sent me through the roof to where I'm up here keying cars and all types of stuff, okay?
I'm agreeing. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing so hard because the Lord just delivered me this morning, okay? Conversation is for me.
Wait a
Like, the Lord is like,
minute.
listen, girl, because I don't need you out here like that anymore, okay? I'm trying to deliver you. So,
okay, first and foremost,
I know.
secondly, I'm happy for you because it is nothing like being able to be let go and set free from something that was holding you in bondage.
yes.
Okay? We don't need bondage around here.
Weight lifted off your shoulders.
No.
Cue the doves flying in the air. Hallelujah.
Right on time.
Wait a minute, yes!
Right on time.
What just happened?
I can't with this piano.
Yes.
I love my piano.
I love it.
Piano.
First of all, shout out to our engineer, Jeff.
You are
He
right on
is
cue
the
at
truth.
all
You guys.
times.
You know I love me some gospel music.
Yes.
Me
I'm
too.
playing this in the booth. I was in a glee club and choir, and we sang some of this.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love it.
You know
I grew
what
up in church.
All right.
Me too. You should have played Let Go and Let God. Look, cuz, let me tell you something.
We can go out on that.
Yeah, we can go out on that because let me tell you something. Since we went there, okay, let's just go ahead and do it, okay? He will help you and set you free from anything you want to be set free from, whether it be a relationship, a family member, a job, a situation, an association. If you really want to be set free from something that serves you no purpose, God will help you. He will be there for you, and He will mend those broken pieces, because you trying to mend them to other things and getting stuck will not work for you, okay? So let Him have your heart and let Him, do what He do, mold you and make you and set you free, okay?
You have to be honest about it and true to yourself and really want it.
Yes, really you have to really want it. Like, from the sincerity of your heart. That's the only way you're going to be free. Because that's how Buck got free today. He was sincere about letting go. He told Carla, he like, no, I don't understand. Why would she go away from something that is her? And this is what I said on the episode. We was talking, it was me and you, I remember. One of these episodes, I was like, everything about that house is her. This is her place. Carla is her mother's caretaker. Like, the job that he gave his sister is her job. Everything about his whole situation is Abby. So all he sees is Abby. And if he continues to live in her realm and see her everywhere, he's going to be in bondage to that, because he's not letting it go. Exactly. And he don't know how, because he surrounded himself in it. So kudos to you, but for finally leaving the house.
Yes, I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
Because, baby, I was tired. I was tired for you, okay? And it happens like that, where people really be tired for us, and we really do not listen. We don't take no. You know what? I want to read what he said, because I wrote it. I wrote down his quote. No, I wrote down his quote. He said, "We are all haunted by the ones we love, the ones we've lost, and by the choices we've made, and the ones we."
No, let him do it. Just let him.
You know what? See, that's my jam. I told you,
that's my favorite.
Okay, but before we, let's talk about how he let go. So he said, we are all hunted by the ones we've loved, the ones we've lost, and by the choices we made, and the ones we are still struggling with. Our lives are like a series of ghost stories. Sometimes all we can do is turn the page and let go. And then he said to Abby, he wrote her a note. He said, I'm not sure if you'll ever come back or how I will feel when you do, but you are my ghost story, Abby. You are the amazing spirit that blew into my life, turned it upside down, and then vanished in the night. Now it's time for me to figure out who I am without you.
He needed that.
He did.
He needed that closure. He needed that realization. Thank you, Buck.
He
finally got it. But I do have one question. Why she's gone? Why did he leave a letter at the house? Why couldn't he?
Because he has hope that she will come back. He talked about that. He has hope that she will come back, but he said, like, I'm not about to sit around and wait for you. Yeah, you may come back, and I may feel some type of way about it, but I can't sit around and wait. At this point, I got to go live my life. Yeah. Okay?
True.
Okay, so are we ready for our Save or Don't Save segment?
Yes, we are.
All right, y'all. So Save or Don't Save is next. LMarie, take it away. Let them know what's up.
So it's just a little keeping with the Halloween theme, haunted theme. Okay, so someone is at a haunted house. And they enter a restricted, like, non-working area. Like, it's still kind of a haunted house theme and everything, but it's not working. And they go in there, and they get stuck in there. In, like, a clown type of something situation. And they get stuck. They knew they weren't supposed to be in there. Do we call for help or no? They knew they weren't supposed to be in there.
No, let them sit in there and think what they did. And then have somebody call later.
Tay, you don't save nobody.
She don't.
You gotta, no.
Tay is really on the don't save her.
No.
Okay?
I said, wait a minute. Wait, maybe, I said like an hour or two. Let them know what they did. Let them realize what they did. Like it's a prison cell. And then somebody can call.
You know what? Dark. First of all, I'm not about to play with y'all.
How old are the kids?
And second of all, save this.
No, it's an older person.
Oh no!
Like it's a young adult.
Oh,
like
please.
A 21-year-old.
Save this fool. For what? Get them up out of there, because you will want somebody to save you, whether you did wrong or not. You gonna want some help.
First of all, I figured it out myself. To try to get out.
Right.
I'll dig underneath. I'll use an axe. They probably got an axe in there. It's a haunted house. I'll chop something open. For one, I'm going to figure it out on my own first. Second of all, no. In their situation, let them sit there and marinate for a good hot second and let them know what they did so they don't do it again. That's how you learn. And then call. I didn't say never call Porchia. I said, wait a minute.
Okay, we wait a minute. I'll take the wait a minute. I'll take the wait a minute, then we saving, right?
Yeah, we
We all agree?
Yeah, we gonna save them.
We got a save today, okay? Little homeboy that went up in there and ain't had no business, he got saved, okay? That's what we doing. Now it is time for our Queen Bassett moment. All hail to the queen.
Is it the right hand or the left hand?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Somebody call Meghan Markle.
I'm not about to play with you. No, it is the right hand.
It's the right.
I think it's the right.
I used to be a queen. Sidebar. I was on the royal court as Miss Junior at Tennessee State University.
Nice.
Okay.
I was. Okay. So for our Queen Bassett moment today, it was absolutely amazing because the reason why the queen went and did everything that she did was because of something in her past. The reason why she became a police officer. So in the beginning, this guy falls down, this trail. Nobody knows who called 911. Buck's saying that it's a ghost. And then they go back to dispatch and they listen back to Maddie's phone call and there's no voice. There's no voice. She heard a voice when the call happened, but then there's no voice. And they played back a call from 7 years ago that had the same voice that she heard, but it could not be confirmed in present day because it was static.
Right.
Ain't that creepy?
That's very creepy.
That was really creepy.
Like the exact same.
I'm glad I finally got it together because I could not figure out what was happening during that whole portion storyline of the episode.
So we still don't know who called 911. That's the thing.
Okay.
The thing is, we still don't know who called 911. But the same voice that she heard when she answered the phone was the same voice from 7 years ago who called about a man falling down there.
Which is, that is crazy.
And that's kind of like really ironic. Like, how did that happen? So we still don't know who called. But even when they played back her call, there was too much static to even hear a voice. So that was like really creepy. So Athena like, I'm going to figure this out today. And she wants to figure it out because when she was 9 years old, a family next door, little girl got snatched out of her bed and never returned home. She said she watched them change. She watched them age. She watched them go into some type of depression and their whole life was flipped upside down. And she vowed to herself that I'm going to become a police officer so I can find this girl and return her to her family. And because she didn't get to do it for the girl, she took it upon herself to know that somebody loved these bones. Whoever these bones belong to, somebody loved him. So I'm going to make sure that I find out who he is so we can get out the word to the person that loved him. How do y'all feel about this whole Athena Queen Bassett moment today?
I love that moment because I think anyone else would have just kind of been like, oh, well, that's it. Or even just find the remains, just figure out who it was and left it at that. She was like, I'm going to find their family, give them closure because now I can do it. Like you were saying, like she wasn't able to do it for that little girl and their family and her family, but she's able to do it for what was his name? Alex?
Alex
Perez.
And then
the name of the guy.
Found his wife.
And she found his wife. And the wife broke down. You could tell there was a bit of happiness or relief maybe that there's closure there.
Yeah.
And
it was more so relief because she kept saying, like, people was telling me this whole time that he just ghosted me and up and left me. And she was like, I don't even care about that. They didn't have no faith for me. I just was mad that they didn't have no faith in him. Because obviously we found out his little backstory. He had just been out of jail for 6 months. They got married. He was only 22 years old. And lo and behold, he's not there anymore. And she has a baby, And so it's like they feeling like he went back to his old ways. He probably got back locked up or just didn't want to, have that responsibility being a man, fresh out the prison, Right. So
I
she
just
was
thought
really
it was
strong.
a beautiful reason and a beautiful second chance for Athena.
Yeah.
To be able to try, even though we find out that Alex is deceased and did not make it, it was closure, like you said. I agree with you, LMarie. For her and for the girlfriend or wife or girlfriend. Wife. Yeah, for the wife. Queen Bassett moment.
Yeah, and I really love that whole moment at the end because it was like, first of all, it was emotional. I was crying.
I think I cried more with the horse dying. But yes, I'm sorry. I'm an animal lover. I'm sorry. But it was still a beautiful moment. I'm sorry.
Y'all know what? I am about
done. If it was a dog, I
am about
need a
done with Tay today, okay? She just ain't right. But wait, no. Wait a minute. All right, but for real, no, that was a really like emotional moment for me because I'm just like all this time nobody likes not having answers. You know, people want answers. Nobody likes being left out in the cold or left in the dark when someone is missing of who they care about. If it was my husband that just disappeared and been gone for like 7 years plus, I'm gonna want to know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
Like, you're not about to just tell me that he off and ran. No, I need to see proof. I need to see a body. I need to see where he at. I need like location. You're not about to tell me that somebody just up and left and that's it. I can't. I
would never stop. I would be like Athena. I would never stop looking. Yeah. Never, ever, ever stop. I don't care what you say.
So I commend her for actually taking the word to her because this woman could have been going on and on for years, dying in her grave, not knowing what happened to her husband, not knowing that the person she loved actually loved her back. And no, he didn't run off on her. He just died. Yeah. He just fell during a hike,
And she has a reason. She actually has a reason to when her son finally asks, like, what happened to daddy, she actually has a reason. It'll be like the worst thing in the world. Yeah, something to tell him. It'd be the worst thing in the world to be like, I don't know. And then have to make up a story.
What y'all think Eddie told Chris when his mama lived? We don't know.
That's a good one. I don't know.
That's true. Well, did he?
I don't know. But
I don't remember if he did.
She ain't been there.
No, we know that.
Like,
speaking of people, being ghosts and got to tell the children. But I'm sorry. That was a
another sidebar.
I am so sorry. All right,
no, but you're right though.
So, are y'all ready to get into these predictions for the next episode?
Yes, let's do it.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right.
Who's going first?
Would you like to? LMarie.
All I kind of wrote down was about Buck and Taylor, so we're
that was literally mine too.
I was like, what else do I say?
I don't know. I think because that was mostly what they showed, but it's going to be interesting because Buck is back to dating, but I don't think he's really back to his old ways yet, and Taylor seems like an old him. Ooh. So I'm interested to see how this is really gonna work out. He's gonna like it at first, right? But then he's gonna be like weirded out by it, by her actions and her, because she's very ambitious, and like that comes first for her. So
we see in the previews that she then left her when left him in the ambulance and took off, and he's like, "Call me,"
right? Like, I gotta go.
But I have the same prediction. Buck is going to go back to his old ways, and I don't think he should go the Taylor route. I hate that her name is Taylor. It makes me mad, actually. But yeah, I don't like where this is going. It's not going to end well.
No.
I guess that'll be my prediction. That relationship is going to start because it's building right now, but I think later on it's not going to end well. Because she seems way too dominant for him. Which is more power to you.
Abby was dominant. She was an older woman who stood her ground and didn't take no stuff.
She didn't, but it was like a different.
It was a different type of strength.
Like,
Why?
Taylor has
because Taylor told him off.
No, I think the career strength is way more like powerful than how she just kind of just like took off and left. How Abby just kind of took off and left.
I get it, I guess.
But what is your
I'm
prediction?
so serious. So, my prediction, first and foremost, I don't want him with Taylor. I like the fact that he has somebody new, but I just don't think, she's the girl. I just think he likes, red hair and blue eyes. Like, or do she got blue eyes? Look, I made that up.
Green.
But, I just think that he probably has a type and he was just excited to not only, hear her voice, but to actually see her. That's how it happened with Abby. At first, he was hearing her voice over the phone before they met, and then when they finally met, he finds out that she's actually older, and for a long time, he was hearing Taylor's voice through traffic. So it's like, you got dispatch, you got the traffic reporter. You know, it's all coming together to be a repeated cycle of getting into relationships that's just not working out. I think he need to take some time for himself, heal all of his broken pieces, regain his composure, really clean his heart out free of Abby, and then get back out on the dating scene, because you just leaving from Abby's house and then jumping right into something else is just like another whirlwind of mixing broken pieces.
You know what that's called? A rebound. It's a rebound. Taylor's a rebound. Taylor's a rebound. Taylor's a rebound. And I don't like it. But it'll be quick. Should probably be going in like 3 more. Episode 10.
Yeah, but my only other prediction is I'm still waiting to see how it goes down with Maddie and Chim.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
Because I'm rooting for that, because Chim need love and Maddie need protection. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
But that is my prediction. Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in with us today. Y'all make sure y'all come back and watch us next week. Until then, I'm Porchia Carter. You can find me on all social media at Porchia Carter. And you can find me this Wednesday night at 10 p.m. on the after show for Black Lightning.
And guys, I am LMarie, and I'm going to reiterate one more time. If there is anybody out there, if you feel like you're going through something, you need to let it go. It's that sign you've been waiting for.
Woo!
And you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at LMarie TV.
Yes.
And you can find me, Tay Alexandria, at Tay Alexandria TV. And on Wednesdays for the Million Little Things After Show at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Bye, guys.
Let go and let God. That was really good.
We're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.